inevitable.
You have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
I'm totally Batman.
Oh, man.
Shh. Communing with the earth spirits.
Welcome to California, bud.
Cowabunga.
And after that, I just sort of space out for about an hour.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Secondary Heroes podcast. This week, we're talking behind the scenes with Funko's Pop Quiz. This year, Trevor, and joining me as usual is...
Hey, guys, it's Prague.
This is DeLorean Wolfgang. What's up, y'all? All right.
Some big winnings here.
Well, I know. I'm really glad that you guys decided to answer back right away. Anyways, I'll edit that whole part out. Real quick before we get into this... Dude, so terrible. Before we get into this, I want to give a shout out to Trevor. He was just a guest on the Dorksman podcast talking about the superb owl or the super bowel or the Super Bowl, whatever you want to call it.
Those.
It was,
nice.
Don't we all? That's why I stopped eating red meat. Wow, we just did it beat for beat as the first time we recorded this.
What? We haven't recorded this before.
What? Anyways, man, so yeah, that was a cool episode. Go over to the Dorksman. You can find them over on Cross the Streams Media as well as us, and that's where you can actually listen to that episode. It's a pretty good one. So yeah, but today we're talking about a different kind of game. Trevor.
Ooh. I don't
It's
know.
wearing the shirt.
Yeah. So luckily, somehow, fortunately, I was on Funko's Pop Quiz week 5, which just aired last week, and so let's talk about all that went into it. And I think Alex even has some insight of what went into it.
Nice.
Teeny bits. Little bits.
I got nothing. So I'm just gonna make fun of these guys.
Well, did you at least watch the episode?
I did.
You did?
Watch the episode.
There's a lot to make fun of. So if we wanted to rip this apart like Velocipaster, that would be a whole long episode.
Well, the only ripping we would be doing is that dance number that you did at the end. So,
Hey, no spoilers yet.
spoilers of what? Something that aired a week ago?
It was the best part of the episode, in my opinion. But we'll get there.
So should we do our non-spoiler non-spoilers of this episode?
No, I don't think so.
Where would you boys like to start then?
So this was actually way back in October, and I was glad I rewatched it, but also I didn't want to rewatch it, and it was just as cringy as I thought it would be when I rewatched it. So the best thing of advice of anybody is don't rewatch stuff. Like, I could never be consistently on something.
Like a podcast that airs on YouTube?
Yeah,
right.
I could
On a
never do
weekly
it.
basis?
Never
Oh
do it.
my God.
Okay.
Never where there's just clips in my voice and my face. Couldn't do it.
It is tough. I've gotten used to it. Like, I know, Alex, you like to listen back to our episodes all the time, and I try my best. I'll leave it on the background but muted sometimes. But yeah, hearing my own voice has always been kind of a weird thing, and I think I'm starting to finally get used to it a bit. But yeah, to be on a game show is a whole different thing. It's not like us just hanging out, just the three of us, right? It's you on stage with some people you don't know and a big personality, and it's, and probably tens of thousands of people watching. It's a different experience for sure.
Yeah, and you're around those cameras, and you're around lights, and you're around strangers that you don't know. Like, it's a lot easier to talk to your buddies rather than talking to strangers and have a big personality in front of those strangers. So I could see how that would be weird, but I mean, you get used to it after a while, right? That's why we do this every week. You got to get used to it.
After a while thing. I've only been on one game show previously.
I mean, maybe we can bring that up a couple. We don't have to name the name of that game show.
No, but Alex and I were on a 3-person game show that is a little bit like Family Feud, but not Family Feud, and we did spectacularly. Do not watch that.
Oh, it was.
I'll make a note to look that up. Yes.
Maybe we'll get into a little bit of that game show after we talk about Funko's game show.
Yeah, maybe that. So
Maybe.
So how does this process work? Did you get called to go on? Did you have to audition? Did you just stop by and be like, "Hey, I'm Trevor. Put me on your show"?
Well, that's definitely part of it. But no, there was an audition back in September over at Funko
Okay.
Hollywood. So you can tell with all these first sets of episodes that it's all a bunch of people in Southern California. So there's that inherent bias because you need access to Funko Hollywood. And I
course.
do apologize to everyone who wants to be on the show and doesn't have that ability. But the weeks after mine, they did like a new kind of audition at San Diego Comic-Con special edition. So hopefully we get a little bit more people across
Oh,
the
that's right.
country.
I remember that. Okay. And they
But
actually
yeah.
did it there, right? They didn't do it
Yeah,
back
they
in
did
the
it live at
studio.
the con. Yeah.
That's pretty fun. Okay.
And I mean, my audition, I don't know why they picked me. Shout out to them. I don't know what they saw, but I'll
Smart guy,
appreciate it
good
all the
looks, who
time.
knows? Hey.
My
Did you have
best
the
intro is I host a pop culture podcast. And I mean, that
They're like,
definitely
perfect.
fits for a pop culture game show.
Exactly. So you didn't have to actually like do a test or have them quiz you and
Oh, they
do
asked
anything
me
like that.
6 questions and I got like
Okay.
5 of 6.
Oh, okay. That's probably why. If
Now
they don't want people that don't know anything, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but wouldn't that be even more fun?
It
If you
kinda
get
is
someone
fun.
Yeah.
Well, no, if anybody's watched any of these pop quiz episodes, they know that the questions aren't like Jeopardy-esque versions of pop culture. It's pretty accessible.
Like, who was the special guest
common
on
stuff.
episode 16, season 2 of Belvedere?
Mr. Belvedere.
Himself? What? You can't do that.
But
So,
yeah, right at the
nothing like
start
that,
when you
okay.
first show up in San Diego. So this is all taped on Coronado Island. They have a studio there on
Oh.
Coronado. And
Okay.
Mike says specifically, the questions are made because we know a lot of people are going to be nervous and sometimes they forget their own name. They're not about to rattle off some specific movie or
Yes.
TV show.
Of course. No, that'd be me. I would be terrible at game shows of any kind. Because I just wouldn't remember. No matter how much I know something, like in the heat of the moment, I'll be like lights and people watching me and I have to get it within a certain time frame. Yeah, I'd freeze up. I would not remember.
I was sitting here thinking, no, there's no way that would happen to me. And then I relived the moment that we were on our game show. And then I'm like, wow, yeah, I guess
it
that
happens.
really does happen. Oh, wow. Yeah. So, I mean, and here's the thing is a lot of people who are on these game shows are like collectors as well. And not all of them are, big energy, big personality type of people who, I mean, obviously these are what, like Funko's probably looking for, and a lot of these game shows are looking for is the big personality type of people. But I mean, a lot of collectors really aren't too big of personality people. I guess, would you say that, Trevor?
I would say that a lot of the people who are really passionate collectors are not center of attention type of people.
Yeah, it's more like, look at my collection, not me. Kind of thing, It's like, here, look at all this stuff I collected.
Because collectors, it's a lot about just having their passion. Like, I'm a big fan of Harry Potter or Star Wars or Marvel. And that's kind of, again, we talked about in our kind of art versus artist of identifying yourself through your fandom. And
Right.
people have their Twitter bios of what they are fans of, and that helps them identify themselves. So it's not like they go around and need a big, because that kind of uses not necessarily in place of a personality, but it's definitely an accent piece to your personality.
Yep.
Right. It gives you talking points in a way.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I own a DeLorean. Great talking piece.
Yeah, Alex, you have no shortage of personality. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I don't know. In our comments section, I'm very basic though. So,
yeah. But basic also can have a big personality.
That's true. I still like my pumpkin spice lattes and a solid pair of Uggs. Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Whatever. Let's move on. Let's get back to the game shows. So take us through what happened when you got to San Diego.
Well, the fun thing was it was a work week. Like, it's a Tuesday, and they're like, you got to be in San Diego at 10:30 in the morning. And I'm like, cool. And so you have to plan for that because they didn't tell us too far in advance. I think they gave me about 2 weeks ahead of time. And so I made plans to go down. And the fun thing was, it's quite a bit of traffic from where I live in kind of Ventura County all the way down to San Diego County. It takes a good 3.5 hours. This isn't
Oh my
like going
God.
from 2 hours. So we
I've
ended
made
up
that
leaving
drive.
at like 5 in the morning because I wanted to get there in time and have breakfast before I go and all that kind of stuff. And so Michelle actually drove, but since she did so, I was like, I'm gonna like try to sleep, in the car. And so I walked to the car with just my slippers on, and I'd forgot shoes. Like I
Oh
brought pants and a
no.
t-shirt and everything, but I did not bring shoes. All I had was slippers.
Say
And
it's your
so-
personality.
Fun fact for anybody watching, during this episode, I'm wearing Michelle's shoes.
That's cute.
Oh no way.
I had to rewatch
All
it
that
again.
fun dancing at the end.
Oh, boy.
Those are in
This is-
Michelle's shoes.
Season 1, episode 5, if you are looking for this. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Which, by the way, the whole forgetting shoes thing, I've done it before. We went on a trip to Big Bear not too long ago. Totally forgot shoes. All I wore was my sandals, and it was like knee high of snow up there. And I'm
Oh,
walking
God.
around in flip flops, going, "I'll be fine."
Like a lot of people, they did cosplays and stuff, and they're like, it's fine if you just wear a Funko shirt. And I was like, cool, I wore my Steamboat Willie shirt. It's perfectly
Yes.
fine. I'm not going to dress up as anything for this. I might dress
Yeah.
up if it's Comic-Con, but not for this. And I was like, okay, I got my shirt, I got my hat, I got my pants, socks, underwear. I'm good. I got everything.
But not shoes.
So I'm curious. I know how the studio is set up. I've actually been to the studio. I've seen how everything looks and everything like that. Were they shooting multiple episodes while you were there, or was it just your episode? And if they were shooting multiple episodes, did they have the other guests kind of like watching, like behind the cameras, like an audience?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is this place is, again, it's on Coronado Island, and they give you the address and you show up and it's a Bank of America, and you're like, okay. And you go and
Yeah.
park up on the 4th floor, and it's like stories above the Bank of America. And it's this really awesome studio, but it's totally nondescript, and you would never guess it if you just
All
went
right.
by this place. And they filmed weeks 4, 5, and 6 all on the Tuesday that I went, but they had it spaced out. So the first one was there from like 9 to 10:30, and then I went from 10:30 to 1, and then they have 1 to 2:30 or whatever. And so when I actually went, Michelle was the only person in the audience because you could bring one guest, and the audience is essentially just the green room. They didn't actually get to go because the set itself, it's pretty much room for all that you can see on screen plus a row of cameras behind that, and that's pretty
Dang,
much
that's
the
small.
entirety of the
Okay.
room.
It is quite small, yeah.
Wow.
Well, and I think they might have put a sheet up to block the other room. Did you see the green wall room?
Well, that room's the one where they kept like the mystery prizes and stuff. So yeah, they have like a little screen.
Okay, because
'Cause
over
they
there
wheel the
on,
mystery prizes in. Yeah.
gotcha. On that side, that's where the editing bays are. That's where you've got your editors who are doing pretty much everything behind the scenes. Their servers and all that stuff is all on that side. And then they have a massive green screen wall on that side where they shoot like their anything that they use a green screen on. So
Right, all their fun
all of
TV
that stuff.
episodes and stuff.
Which is really cool. It's really fascinating that how they kind of put all that stuff together in this one little space, and then have like I actually have never seen the green room where you guys got prepared before the show. How was the green room before the show?
The green room is just a couple couches. There's a mini fridge, and then there's one like mirror with the lights where the makeup lady is stationed, and that's pretty much the entirety of it.
Okay, gotcha. Now,
So shout out to the makeup lady. She's like, "Oh, you don't need anything at all. You have really good skin. Thank
Wow.
Hey, what a lady! She was hitting on you right in front of your girlfriend. Man.
Yep. She's like,
Unbelievable.
oh, you don't need anything, hon.
Jeez. Trevor, calm it down, man. Save some for the
Hilarious.
rest of us. But no, that's cool. And I do feel like it is a pretty neat space too, because there are a lot of photo opportunities around. Did they give you a chance to take photos like behind your podium or with Gator or anything like that?
They didn't let us take it, but they have a photographer who took a bunch of photos where
Oh,
it's
cool.
us singly with
Like doing
Gator,
it?
and then all
Okay.
3 of us with Gator, and then at the podium, all like, and then right out front they have a big like 6 foot or 5 foot tall Freddy with the logo
Yeah.
that you can take pictures of, and there's
Nice.
fun like murals on the siding where it's Freddy kind of tied into various backdrops.
Right.
And they
That's
said they
cool.
would give those photos to us, and I haven't gotten those photos yet. Otherwise, I would post them.
Oh,
Come on. Funko.
I don't know what
wondering if
happened
we-
to those photos.
Wondering if I should edit in some of the episode of you on there into the show. And here you are.
The problem with that episode, like, again, I had a ton of fun, but it does not come across in that episode. I do apologize. I pretty much have resting bitch face. It's just something that I'm dealt with. And then, like, as much as I can, like, be verbose and talkative on this podcast, I pretty much have 1-word responses in the entirety of this pop quiz episode, and I'm barely audible at all. So
You're like,
that was
yep.
just nerves.
They were
Yep.
like, yes, this
Guy
is
great.
the guy.
This is who we
This-
wanted.
This is what game shows are all about right here. His energy, his reactions, his answers, everything right here.
I could,
Will
yeah,
you-
I, would,
Yeah, there
I
you
could
go.
probably be the same way. I'm assuming if I were to be on TV like that, I'd be like, yeah,
It's just
personality.
tough to stay up because I'm more concerned of not failing rather than putting on a show. Like, so
Of course.
it's a different mindset of when you're going in. It's like, okay, I do not want to just get everything wrong and leave with 0 points or something like that. And then as you get going, it's like, well, now I want to win stuff. And so now I'm focused. And once I start focusing on stuff, I'm not going to have other thought. Like, I'm getting all these answers. Because again, the answers I came up with, they're not the most complex things, but they took forever. Like, it doesn't feel like that when you watch it. It looks like I answered pretty quickly. But in my
Right.
mind, it feels like it's like 20 seconds. I'm like, oh.
So is there a timer where they buzz you if you don't answer in time?
Yeah, it's about like 5 seconds.
Okay.
But it
Yeah.
Trying to think how
feels
long
like
that
an
would take.
eternity.
Right. Yeah. Like 1, 2. Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
feel
enough
like I
time.
had to answer right away. Like, pretty much while he's talking, I'm like, I need the answer. And then coming up with the one toughest thing that people tell you when they're on Jeopardy, it's not coming up with the answer. It's getting the answer from inside your mind to your lips.
Oh, of course, it's there, right? And it's like, how do I compute that into words? Like you can mentally see the whatever it is, the answer, but yeah, speaking it out loud, yeah, it's a whole different thing. I think that's my big issue. Which is sad.
Yeah. We'll get to my big issue later on in the episode.
Oh my.
Yeah. No, but so I caught a little bit of the episode, and it looked like, I mean, Gator who Mike Becker, who is Gator in these episodes, is great. I feel like but what I saw, I feel like he's like in your face and like, come on, you got it, you got this, you got it. Like, what I saw, I'm like, oh my god, that would make me even more nervous. Like, how did that make you feel, having just that little bit more pressure on you?
I feel like Mike actually kind of distracts from attention on you, so it maybe dilutes the pressure a little bit. Like, at the
Interesting.
start,
That's cool.
he's totally just regular Mike Becker. He doesn't get into that Gator persona until the camera's actually on. So he's just coming up. He's like, don't worry about anything, guys. He's like, here, let's take some photos. Don't be nervous. And he's like asking us to just to make us as comfortable as possible. Like, that's not going to work because my mind's at overdrive, but I appreciate the sentiment and the attitude.
I think that's very cool, and that's such a Mike thing to do. I actually never really thought of it that way, that if you do come into it and you take all your photos at the beginning, it makes you a little bit more comfortable with the setting that you're in, because having the lights and having the cameras can put a lot of nerves on people. But after you spend a little bit more time getting comfortable with the host, getting comfortable with your competitors, I think that's actually a really brilliant way, rather than our experience where it was thrown in head first.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine that. What protos did you win?
Oh, I won too many protos to remember.
That's
but
awesome.
specifically in the mystery prizes. So the fun thing was, you can take the proto that Mike gives you in the little bag, or you can go for the
Okay.
mystery box. And the mystery box, the first one that I got was a whole Star Wars theme pack, which included the concept Stormtrooper proto, this guy right here.
Nice. Yep.
And it came with a lounge fly bag. It's all washed out by the light. And then the next one was really cool was the Harry Potter one, where it has the jackalope, the myth line, plus it had Harry's Patronus, the actual stag, within a Loungefly bag. So it's 2 protos rather than just the one by itself. And then those times I both passed on the regular protos. And the regular protos, it was the drummer guy from Kiss. And cool. If it's not the same thing as getting the concept series Stormtrooper. But the one proto that I did get was Shaggy with the sandwich. That's always a cool one.
Nice.
But the fun part was I felt bad watching it back because Trevor's getting all this stuff. And the other 2 aren't getting anything. I felt so bad. Like while I'm playing, I'm like, cool, get all this stuff. And watching it back, I'm like, well, that's
like,
dude.
Wow. So you turn into Ken Jennings where you're just gathering everything. Hey, screw you guys over there, man. I'm Ken Jenningsing this game, baby. Wow, I had to edit myself real quick there. About said something a lot worse.
But one of the cool things also was that they had goofy prizes. So I got pork rinds and a can of beans. And then Mike signed it afterwards. Just have fun.
Oh, that's cool.
But Mike said there's only 10 of these made. Like, there's a bunch of pork rinds, but the actual labels that they made to put it on these, there's only 10 of them. So it's LE10. It's still pretty rare.
LE10, not bad.
He's like, personally, I'd rather get that. And it's because Mike's seen 5 billion protos. That's why he'd rather have something cool like that. Sure. But no, it's a fun keepsake from the show. Just like this shirt. Everybody who was on got one of the Pop Quiz Player shirts.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. You know, it says you're a player, so you knew that you were on the show.
Yeah. Hey, all you other contestants. Trevor got all the gifts. Here's a T-shirt. They're all extra large, so I'm sorry if you're a small.
Sorry, double, triple, extra large is for everybody.
So everyone who was on the show, whether you won or lost, you got a gift bag, and every gift bag had a proto in it.
Ah, nice. Now, all right.
Did you have any questions that you were fairly stumped on with the show?
So it was more about ringing in speed. They weren't the toughest questions. The ones that stumped me was the Silhouette bonus section at the end where they give you a pop character where it's just the shadow of and you have to guess what character it is. And like, as I'm going, I'm like, I have no idea what this is. It could be anything. And then they really show it. Like the Dracula one. It could have been anything.
Right before we started recording, I was watching that scene and I was like, Doctor Strange. And then, like, when they showed, who was it? The other one, the George Washington.
Yeah, the George Washington somehow, like, George Washington's so obvious if you saw it, but when it's just the outline, it could be all these different characters. I thought it was the bad guy from Aquaman at first.
To me, it looks like one of the trolls. Yeah. One of the trolls from Harry Potter.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the bank trolls.
Yeah. Yeah, the Green Guts one. But I do want to give condolences to Doctor Who fans. I am sorry. I could not. I knew that it was the thing from Doctor Who, like those bad things. I couldn't think of Dalek to save my life.
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah,
I would have said.
I don't know. But I do know those are goblins. I just want to correct anyone who's yelling at us right now. Those are goblins. Yeah. The troll is the one that comes into the dungeon. Yeah.
No, the trolls are the ones that are in our comment section. Hey,
we love you guys.
Wink, 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 nudge, nudge. Hey,
even if you hate watch us, we love you.
Yeah, we love all of it.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, you're making.
Think of all the people who hate watched me winning on Pop Quiz. Ooh, but anyway,
that one got 90 something likes, so that's cool, man.
But yeah, in terms of like stumping questions, I think it was more remarkable watching it back and coming up with the answer. Like I'm watching the Die Hard question. It's like, where is Die Hard set? And I come up with Nakatomi Tower. I have no idea how I pulled that.
It just happens, right?
I'm like sometimes right on Nakatomi Tower. I was like, no way.
You know, that's so funny. Like, I feel like that would be one that I would get stumped on, but I listen to another podcast every week. It's one of my favorite podcasts. And in their intro song, they sing about Die Hard and how Bruce Willis is in Nakatomi Tower. And right once you said, where is Die Hard based? I'm sitting here going, it's a tower. That's all I could think of.
Right?
And I hear the word every week. And I still... in that 5 seconds of you saying that,
But no, it's the same thing for me. Like it would be something random that I probably wouldn't think of. That would be the fastest for me. And the things that I do know are the things that I won't get. It's just the way the brain works. I
I
think.
mean, the
you know?
bonus questions were really fun though. Like I didn't answer the question about I didn't ring in time to answer Pluto as Mickey's dog, which I mean, it's pretty straightforward. But the bonus question was Club 33 is a special Disney club. What ride is it above? And my fellow contestant can't. I'm like, it's
Even
so
I know that, and
easy.
I'm not even a Disney fan.
I just want to yell Club 33, and that was a sad one.
Well, wait. It's above Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
Yeah, P of the
Okay,
Sea.
cool. Just making sure. Just making sure. I would have
As I
won.
said, even I know that, and I'm not a Disney fan. Like, come on, it's easy.
And then another fun one was I missed the Harry Potter one. Like I missed the ones that are right up my alley. It was great. But the
That's the way I
Harry
would do it,
Potter
yeah.
one, it's like, what did he get on Christmas in his first year? And I didn't ring in time. And the answer was invisibility cloak. In my head, I'm like, he got the sweater from Ron's mom that has the H on it. So it's technically right to the question they gave, but that's not the answer they were looking for.
Gotcha.
Whoa! You could have looked off to the side and said, "Judges, watch the movie again. I'll wait."
Were there judges? Could you have done that? Do you think?
There were no judges. There was the director guy who's also the director of Making Fun, the first Making Fun. It's
David,
the
yeah.
same guy.
David, he's a really great guy. He's
Yeah.
super nice. Him and Mike work super well together. I was actually very fortunate to be able to work with those guys for oh goodness, what was it? Funko Con? FunCon.
Yeah.
FunCon.
Yeah, during the whole pandemic thing where we weren't doing Comic Cons. That was a good time. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, he's the one who kind of helps you in the green room. He makes sure your mic's set up properly, and he's like, "This is how it's going to go. We're going to answer a few questions, then we'll do a commercial break, a few more questions, commercial break, and Mike will be coming in. He'll be super friendly to everybody. So he's the one. He's like the first person that you kind of interact with to kind of make it as easy as possible.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he keeps a very like low, slow demeanor too. It's not like he's overhyped or anything like that.
He doesn't expect you to be like someone who's used to being on camera. He has a really good thing of like, I know that you guys probably haven't been on camera before.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're all collectors.
It's like, I know.
But one of the funniest parts watching it back is I get the Shaggy proto, and they're like, so I have to open it from the bag and reveal it. And then they zoom in on the actual playback. And my hand is shaking so much,
no.
dude.
You're like,
Stop shaking, hand.
right? The poor camera guy's like, I'll get
Like
it.
at a certain point, it's just adrenaline for me. It's not like,
Oh, I
you're
know.
standing there still. I need to just like run it off.
Right? You're
Yeah.
like, just hold my hand down. That's what I would do.
Oh, that's
God, I would
cool,
hate that.
man.
I would just sit down on the podium and like,
That was
Don't touch
exactly
it.
what I was thinking. Is
Yeah, like,
setting
don't
it down on
touch
the
it.
It is
podium.
right here.
yeah,
Now-
here, film it.
Your contestants, did you get any time with them before you went on? Did you talk to them at all? Do you know like what was going through their heads at all?
Psych them out
I
a bit,
mean,
you know? Make
we
fun of
probably
them, that
have
kind of
like
stuff.
maybe 5 minutes without anybody else because they come in, the director's there, he's talking to us. Each one of us go over to the makeup chair, and then Mike's pretty much there. So we don't have that much time at all. It was pretty much the one contestant came by himself, and then the other contestant came with her significant other. And that was, they're like, oh yeah, I mainly collect sodas. That was kind of the pickup that I got. That was about as
Wow.
much conversation as I got.
Well, that's when you could psych them out and be like, wow, it sounds like you don't know anything there, chum.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Psych
before
out
you
your
wipe
opponents.
the floor
Start
with them.
pounding your chest. Yeah. Got this. You're going down, soda boy.
I think it's more funny imagining Trevor doing that. That's fantastic.
Man, I was just on a
Yeah,
pop
done it.
culture game show last week. I do
Right?
these about
Heck
like
yeah,
monthly,
man.
bro. What are you doing?
I'm on Jeopardy next. What do you got, son? Huh?
I live in LA, bro.
Yeah.
Hollywood, baby.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's great, man. But all in all, how would you just your entire overall experience of this whole pop quiz thing? How were you like? How is your feeling now? after watching it back as well?
Watching it back definitely made it worse. But in October of just leaving that day, it was one of the most memorable days of last year for sure. I mean, obviously last year didn't have that much, but it was a definite standout day. Just there's a whole bunch of when you watch it back, I'm like, oh, okay. All the memories come flooding back of the experience of it. And not only that, I got to give a shout out to us winning the Gold Luke back in Fun Days 2019. That was the question they asked me in the getting to know you section. And then also it's fun because at the very start, you get to introduce yourself. And I'm like, hi, I'm Trevor. I'm like, oh, dude, that's your intro. And then I'm like, I play games for a living. I'm like, oh my God, no. Can we cut this?
I play games. I get paid for it. I'm Trevor. You already said you're Trevor. Okay.
It's the worst.
I got a Gold Luke one time.
Oh man, that's
days.
what I would do. That's fantastic.
Oh, man.
Who were the other two contestants?
What do you mean?
Who are the other two contestants with you? Do you know? Do you know them beforehand, or were they?
Oh
People
no,
you
I
met
never
for the
met them
first time?
before.
Okay,
I now know that they're Teresa and Osmore. That was the extent that I did know it.
all right. So I know we had our friend Eva. She was on the show as well. I think the episode before you. I think there's a few others, right, that we knew, like Alex.
Actually, yes, we do, and we actually got a voicemail from our Cross the Streams. Excuse me, let me start that again. From our crossthestreamsmedia.com website, we got a voicemail from a very good friend of ours, Alex, or the Captain, as he liked to call himself. I don't know. How did he get that nickname? Alex, you're going to have to tell me how you got that nickname. But we're going to play that voicemail right now.
What's going down, everybody? This is Alejandro, a.k.a. Alex, a.k.a. the Captain, talking to you guys about my experiences on Pop Quiz. Overall experience, had an absolute blast. Had a great time. Would I do it again? In a heartbeat. It was fun. The staff was great. They were very accommodating, gave us the positive vibe, made it easy for us to go and get the pressure off and then the nerves off with, recording. Didn't really see Gator till the start. Well, we started filming, and he was great afterwards. Very nice to everybody. Nice to all the guests. I was just there to have fun and make a memory for the gremlin. She doesn't know that I did it yet, so I'll try to film a reaction from her whenever she sees it. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great time. I hope I audition for season 2. We'll see what happens, and good luck. Trevor, hope you take it all, bud.
Wow, well, so it sounds like he had a really great time at the... I don't know if he cleaned up as much as you did, Trevor, but sounds like he
blame
had a
me
good time.
for ruining the podium for ringing in too much.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
did
there is
blame
a
you for
point
that.
in the first bonus when the double or nothing, I ring in, and I'm like, oh, I guess I don't need to do that.
Oh yeah, it's double or nothing. Like you're the only contestant right now, sir. Oh wow.
Oh, that's cool. Well, I believe his episode is going to be coming the same.
It's week 6, yeah.
Yeah, it's week 6, so it's going to be the same week as this episode airs. So yeah, so we're not spoiling anything with that, unless you listen to us first. Hey, baby, yeah.
I'm hoping people do watch Pop Quiz because it's fun to play along because you probably will know a lot more than other people. And again, the thing is, it's more about ringing in than anything else. These aren't going to be the questions to blow you away. It's going to be, can I get in fast enough? And that
and then you get the 5 seconds anyways.
Yeah.
So if you don't know it off the top of your head, you'd be like, okay, give me 5 seconds. They'll come to me. And there you go. You'll get it. So just ring in. There's your pro tip from Trevor.
Is that the
audition for?
Give us another
audition
pro
for
tip.
season 2 if you can.
Wait, are they? Do you know if they're having auditions soon?
I have no idea. I think it depends. Like they haven't done any of the follow-ups yet.
Yeah, they probably still have to finish up the rest of season 1. So,
yeah.
And if they filmed 3 in one day, then they most likely are. They probably did that all week. So there's probably going to be a lot coming.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it seems to be getting a lot of hits. People are enjoying it. I know collectors are always talking about it, and I'm excited what people have to say about your episode. I'm gonna have to look in the comments section.
I think it's people didn't know what it entailed to begin with, but now that you see someone like me, I won 10 protos. That people are like, I want to do this now.
Right?
Yeah,
I want
like it's
go
exciting to
there.
win one, but to win 10? Oh my
And I'm
God.
curious. Do you happen to know what the value of everything that you ended up getting, or if that's even something you even want to share?
Well, I have no idea because a lot of people don't know protos, but people think that they're all automatically golden tickets. Not every proto is created equal. That's a
I
whole
agree with
different
that.
topic and discussion.
I get that. Well,
Sometimes you'll be lucky to give one away.
let's just say a proto's $50 a piece. Probably pretty good. Yeah, I think you did
just
pretty
shout
good.
out to Funko. They did provide every contestant with a $500 just like check to afford travel and hotel
nice.
fare or
Hotel,
hotel
yeah.
stay and all that stuff.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Because we didn't get that when we went to LA. Should we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, go into it. You just can't do details.
One other
but,
part
know.
of Pop Quiz I do want to
Yeah,
just talk
yeah.
about.
Absolutely,
is that-
man. Go ahead.
Ironically, the one question that is my favorite was in the first Indiana Jones film, what is Indiana Jones after? And I quite literally, watched that movie the day before. Just because Michelle's never seen the Indiana Jones movies, I was like, okay, we're going to start. And Ark of the Covenant, man, came in clutch.
Wow.
Because I would have never come up with Ark of the Covenant. Like, I've seen that movie probably like 10, 15 years ago. I would have never
Even though
come
it's
up
in the
with...
title?
No, it's not. It's Raiders of the Lost Ark, but you still need Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, you silly goose.
The Covenant's the toughest part. Jeez.
That's true. It
It's not
could
like
be
Temple
Noah's
of
Ark. He's
Doom.
probably after a big ship. I think that's the one where he finds the big boat. That one.
Didn't you ride in a Zeppelin?
Maybe.
Anyways. Yeah. No, I think that was number 3 or something.
It was.
Yeah, number 3 was also the double question of who plays Indiana
Sean
Jones'
Connery.
dad. And yeah,
Got it.
I love
Got it.
easy double or nothing questions. They're my favorite thing.
Heck yeah, man.
Love it.
That's nice.
You have
Do
all the
go
time
on
in the
from
world.
here?
You just take, just like,
Yeah, do
What
you
was that
go
part?
on now that you won? Like, do you keep going on, or is this the end of the road?
yeah,
for
there's
you're
a
done?
semifinal I got invited to.
What?
Nice.
That's awesome.
And then if you
Alright,
get
that's
to the
exciting.
final, you have a chance to win Fun Days tickets. Funko
Alright.
Fun Days tickets.
So that's pretty awesome because all you got to really do is kind of like watch the episodes and see who wins, and then you'll know who you're going to go up against later on down the road. That's pretty cool.
Or it's more
Yeah.
nerve-wracking because you see how good they are.
Well,
That's people looking at you right now, Trevor. Just saying. Just saying.
Very cool, man. Well, I would love to audition. I don't think there's any restrictions on me auditioning. I was a
I hope
contractor.
everyone
for a
can
little bit,
audition
so-
because again, if they're gonna pay for airfare and hotel, give yourself that chance.
Hey,
Well, if they're at San Diego Comic Con, I'll definitely do it.
Well, if they do
Should
it
be
San
fun.
Diego Comic Con this year, that would be great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't have to worry about anything else. Just go there.
You're
It's
already
there.
paying for travel. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's
Coming-
free money then. If they give you the check, that is.
man, what do you guys think of San Diego Comic Con? Do you think it's going to be as big as it usually is, or I'm like
Right
so
now-
nervous about it.
Well, no, right now the biggest trending thing is revenge travel. People are putting a bunch of money into airfare, hotels, and cruises because I've been pent up for 2 years and haven't done this stuff. That's
sense.
today in February. We have no idea if there's another variant or anything, but as of
Right.
right now, if things going as there is, San Diego Comic Con in July is going to be big.
Could be.
Sweet.
I'm itching.
People are hard up.
Ooh, keep it zipped up, people.
So yes, I think it'll be a decent outing.
It's just
year.
the fingers crossed at this point.
Yeah. Hopefully all goes well. Get boosted.
Oh, I just got boosted.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah. Well, I needed the booster for work.
One
Yes.
other funny tidbit: if anybody does notice this, they asked us, what's your favorite pop or favorite Funko item? You can bring it and put it on your podium.
Ah.
And so the first contestant had the Miss Pac-Man pop. The
Okay.
next contestant had the standard Freddy soda. And of course, me and my vast wisdom bought my Freddie Leonardo that's LE24 because I had to flex on people.
No joke. I would totally do the same thing with my big boy 24.
I would
have been
probably
like, "Of course you want this, right?" Everyone was like, "Oh my god!"
I didn't know
I
we
have
were
this
supposed to
common
bring
thing.
regular mainline pops.
I'd probably bring in the gold Luke. That
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
that's
for
all
sure.
I can. Yeah.
Why
I mean, I
wouldn't
think that's
you?
probably the lowest I've got so far.
You should have flexed on them, like, what's up?
What's
Huh?
up, dog?
What's wrong with yours?
How long you been collecting? You even
Yeah.
collect, bro?
Like 2 weeks?
What's up, nerds?
Oh
Y'all
my
coming up
God.
here? Flexing
Why are
on
you
me?
on this show?
Ooh, I need to stop yelling.
Is
I'm
there
gonna
any more
wake up my
nerd
kid.
card than being on a pop culture quiz hosted by a toy company?
Right? The guy dressed up named Gator. Yeah.
Guys,
I got
I am
my
so
nerd
sorry.
card for a while.
I have to put a timeout. I'm dying. I gotta use the restroom so bad.
Can you hold on a second? I have call waiting. Knock it off. I know it's you. Sorry about that. Where was I?
So I had a ton of fun on Funko Pop Quiz, but Alex and I also had a fun or a something type of game show experience too.
Something is exactly what it was.
You
And
just
I
can't talk about it yet, is what you're saying, but you can talk around it.
I think we are going to talk around it a little bit. You're right, Prague.
Without
Now,
using
was this
the
right
name.
before? Sorry, go ahead.
No, just without using the name, we can describe it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
so I was this like what, maybe a week or two before Pop Quiz for you?
Wasn't it in October?
I
'Cause Pop Quiz was
honestly
definitely
barely
middle of
remember.
October. I think
It
this
was
was at the
such a
beginning of
weird-
October.
Yeah, it was such a weird thing. So with this, like, I'm down in San Diego, and it was up in northern LA or Pasadena or something. Where did I have to
It's in the
drive? Because
valley.
it was
No,
in a
no,
warehouses
it's definitely
everywhere.
in the valley. It's in the San Fernando Valley.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because there was just warehouses and yeah, it was just like there was nothing to look at the entire time. So we get there, and we're sitting in a warehouse for 9 hours.
Oh my God.
Waiting, just sitting there waiting. That, like, they said, make sure you get here at a certain time, and I'm like, I live 3.5 hours away from this place, and they wanted me there at 9 a.m. So I had to make sure that I got up early enough to beat out like LA traffic and all that stuff, which totally sucks. But I made it there in time, which was wonderful. But turns out I got the wrong COVID test. So then they made me do another COVID test before I could even get into the warehouse studio.
Fun.
Yeah,
It was a whole
so-
hurry up and wait experience. Just like, oh, get here, and then you guys just sit here, and then don't worry, guys. We'll do a few practice rounds. You'll get to go see a taping of the show so you can see how it's played. So we're not just gonna throw you in. And then all of a sudden at like 2:00, they're like, okay, guys, you're on. It's like,
Yeah, we didn't get any, like,
What?
our practice rounds was so they could see what we were wearing. Like, make sure that they liked what we were wearing, and to make sure, like, that we could talk on a microphone. Like, that was pretty much our practice round.
Great.
And yeah, it was kind of like weird, because right once you get there, they take your phones away. So you're there for 9 hours without your cell phone. Now
God
imagine
forbid.
that. Just
Someone finds
just
out.
imagine that. Like, in the day and age that we live in now, without your cell phone, okay. I'm going to give you an example. This Sunday, me and my wife went to Home Depot, and I forgot my phone at home.
Oh God.
No joke, dude. I was jonesing for my phone. I even started looking at my wife's phone thinking, I could
Can I
just
use that?
I
Yeah.
could pick that up and sign into like my Instagram or something just to see what's going
Right?
on, man, right? Like, I had this weird thing in the back of my head thinking, I need my phone. Oh my God, I was losing my mind. I really need to take a break from my phone.
yeah, phone addiction, it's real.
It is real. And I'm glad that happened to me on Sunday, because now I think I'm going to be like, okay, I'm going to spend one day just away from my phone. I think
So
I
what
need
did you do the whole time then, since you didn't have your phone?
we just sat around
We
talking
talked to each other. We talked to the other teams.
Yeah. Yeah, there was
Talking.
so it was a big
Talking.
warehouse and
Trying
they
to remember
had
what
just
that was. Yeah.
Wait, talking to people.
Yeah, well, that's
imagine
You don't
weird.
just
face to
Alright.
type
face.
out your stuff?
Yeah.
So yeah, right. So what we're doing right now, it's kind of like texting, just without using
loud.
my phone. This is weird.
Right.
Did you ever done this before?
Is this new for you too?
But no, so and I know Trevor said it around the beginning of the episode that what we did was kind of a like Family Feud type of show, but it wasn't Family Feud. That whole on-stage nervousness is a real thing because they asked us like one of the most simplest questions, and I bombed it hard. Like I'm gonna hate when this thing airs because unlike Trevor, where he might have been embarrassed by his dancing or his way that he answers, at least he was winning. we did not win a thing. We bombed it hard, and it was
Awesome.
embarrassingly hard, which sucks.
Oh, I
The
can't
only
wait to watch
redeeming
this.
thing is the team that beat us was even more embarrassing than the final bonus round. So
Oh, all
that
right.
was some redemption that we both sucked, but it's also worse
Nice.
that we lost to them as a team.
Yeah.
I guess the worst part for me is that like I took a day off of work. Like
Yeah.
and unlike Funko, like you just said, Funko gave you guys like a stipend, like a $500 bonus just to come out and have like money to stay and money for food and stuff like that. They didn't give us anything. So
Not even gas
That
money, nothing.
Subway lunch.
oh my god, that's so
Ugh.
the Subway lunch that had been sitting there from the day before that nobody ate.
It's like, here's a tuna sandwich.
Oh god.
It was
In a warehouse
man.
in the sun in the middle of the desert.
It was embarrassing. And honestly, like it was like, okay, it's your turn. Here's the studio. Get mic'd up. Now get on the stage, and we're gonna go.
You'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll figure
worry.
it out.
It's
It's
easy.
super easy, super easy. I'm like, no. And Trevor was the captain originally, and then they changed it to me to be the captain. So I was kind of like in relaxation mode, thinking, okay, Trevor's got this all on his back. I don't have anything on my back. And all of a sudden, boom. Hey, Alex, you're the captain now. So you're gonna have to answer all the questions. I'm like, no.
He's gonna ask you about how you guys know each other and all that stuff. So you got that, right?
Well,
Oh my
and
God.
honestly, I felt like I did a pretty good job at that.
Well, no,
Okay.
the
That
best
was, like,
part
the
though
best part.
was the host guy. He's like, so you guys, I hear you guys do a podcast, and Alex nailed it. He talked about what we do every week, where you can find us, all this stuff, and then they're like, you know what? Redo that. We can't include that in the show. So we gave a whole secondary hero shout out, and we can't even include it in the show.
It was actually like so solid. And then the producers
That
stopped,
sucks.
literally stopped it. It was almost like you watch the cameras go,
Yeah.
and they're like, okay, so we're going to do that again. Just don't mention anything about your podcast. I'm like, but our name is the Podcast Pals. Like,
Oh, also shout out to them giving us a name.
they
for
gave us the
podcast
worst
pals.
name possible.
I'm so glad I wasn't there, so my face doesn't have to be a part of that.
Oh, don't worry. We mentioned you, so that's
Great.
good. Yeah. So you got a shout out at least.
We should have brought a
but-
picture of you and just put it on
Just put it
the
next to you with like
This is
candles
our
next to it.
friend.
They're like, is
See?
he dead? Like, why does he have candles next to him?
in memoriam.
In memoriam.
I would
Oh
probably
no, he just
say
couldn't be here today. He's alive and well.
I would say probably the fun part about it is that we did get to hang out with a past guest of ours, Jared Muscarella, who
Nice.
he was just wrapping up working on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh,
Which
exciting.
so he had some fun stuff in the back of his car, and one of the fun things in the back of his car was a bust, which is just pretty much the torso of Hayden Christensen.
Nice.
So like they modeled Hayden Christensen's bust, and I know that my wife is a huge Hayden Christensen fan. So I was like, dude, you
Oh.
gotta let me take some pictures with this thing. So I did like a prom photo of holding it from behind. It was great. And the crazy thing is that thing was super detailed too. Like you could see the little hairs from like his chest and stuff
Oh
on.
my.
Like it was pretty wild how detailed this thing was. And I was like, I can't believe I'm holding this. This is weird. But it was neat. He like filled us in, which by the way, we're gonna have him on as a guest to talk about Obi-Wan Kenobi. Once it finally
Well,
comes
I
out,
hope
that is.
so.
May 25th.
May 25th is Obi-Wan Kenobi. But who knows when it ends? Because that's probably when we're gonna be able to have him. I don't know if we're allowed to.
Oh, beforehand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not
spoiler.
sure.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like how we're not supposed to talk about this game show, but
Yeah.
wink, wink, nod,
Here we
nod.
are.
Here
I
we
mean,
are.
We also had that fun experience of just trying out for this game show. In case anyone has ever
Oh my
not tried out for a
God.
game show, it's a multi-step process where first you have to fill out an application, then they get back to you and they talk to you over the phone, and then they schedule a video interview, and then they talk to you on the phone again, and then they come back and say, well, we're inviting you to a specific date and time, and we want you to show up at this location, but you are not guaranteed to be on air. So we got lucky actually to be on air to be embarrassed. We could have just had to show up. Alex drove all that way, missed a day of work, and had to just drive home and said, thanks for showing up.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really glad it didn't end up like that. I would have been
Yeah.
livid if I didn't
But-
get on TV.
Our video interview period was the best because, again, it's COVID time. We're all in WebEx.
Oh no,
And-
this was so embarrassing.
Literally, first Alex's internet gives out. And
Nice.
so this is only a 20-minute call. Alex's internet gives out for 5 minutes. He jumps back in, and the lady interviewing us, her internet gives out for like 5 minutes. Then she comes back, and then my internet gives out. And I don't think she got in like maybe 10 words with us. I don't know how they picked us to even be on.
Maybe they felt so bad. Like, all right.
I don't know. If they felt bad for us, then I would have gotten at least a stipend to go home because my God, that was embarrassing. That whole experience was pretty embarrassing.
So what I'm hearing from you is
$10,000.
Oh yeah, and then we would have had to
Then we have to
split
split
10,000
three ways,
three
and then they have
ways.
to take taxes out of it.
so nothing's left.
I mean, it would have been. I mean, $2,000. What we would have probably ended up with $2,000 a piece. I would have been okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It just seems like the whole pop quiz thing was a better way to go.
Yeah.
Pop quiz was more enjoyable, and they guaranteed
Yeah.
you a spot when you came down.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they
you
did
can
more
get 10
hand-holding.
protos.
Like this, the whole big game show we went to, you could tell that it was just a factory. They go through so many people every day, and they
Oh,
just
yeah.
churn them through.
Yeah.
That's
They
kinda
did
sad.
not care who you were, what your story was. They didn't care. They were even the host. Like we didn't even get to meet the host. Like we were standing on stage for almost 15 minutes, and then they were like, "Okay, here he comes." He comes on stage and he says some lines, and then right once it was like, "Poof," everything shuts down. Hey, we're gonna have to do that again. He runs off stage and goes backstage.
Okay.
And then whenever they're ready to go again, he comes back. So it's like, and and then after that, after we got done and everything was done, they sat us down in the audience and we watched him shoot promos.
That was fun too.
Hey,
Why?
tune in next week. Hey, do. We're gonna do this. Hey, and it was like, can I just leave? I'm embarrassed
worst.
sitting here right now.
Yeah. Why would you need an audience for that? Like I used to have to do that for NBC, and it was boring. Like, could you keep doing it over and over again? It's the same line.
It was the same
Over
stuff
and over
over and
again.
over and over again, and it wasn't.
one
and
has to
we had to
watch
be
that.
quiet. We had to be silent the entire time. So we're
You know
sitting in the audience.
how to be
just
silent? Silent
Yeah.
is to not be there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let me
Pro
leave.
tip.
I
Pro tip.
have a 3.5-hour drive back to San Diego. Let
It's
me
already
go.
the afternoon, and you're gonna have to deal with the traffic in LA and San Diego.
Yep.
Mhm.
On a work day.
Yep.
But
But
I mean,
for
all
them
in
to
all-
not pay anything though to show up on a work day, that
yeah,
I don't know if I would do that one again.
no.
I don't think anyone should.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, all in all, like I enjoyed the time I got to spend with you and Jared, though. That was really nice because it was pretty much uninterrupted, just we got to hang out. Like I didn't have a phone to distract, we didn't have phones to distract us or anything like that.
Right.
So it was really nice to just have that, like, kind of one-on-one time. It was nice.
And I think the experience was memorable because always remember that memories are not just good memories. There's things that imprint upon you that are not good. So it was memorable.
And they
But that's the
sometimes
thing
make
is-
those other memories better.
Yeah. At the end of the day, here we are talking about it still. We still had an experience.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't
There
the
you go.
destination. It was the journey. That
Yeah, you could have
It
just
was
sat
the friends
at
we
home
made
and
along
worked.
the way.
That would have been
could have
boring.
sat at home. Yeah, but I also would have gotten paid for a day
And that too.
If we didn't suck, we could have won 10,000.
That would have been nice.
I think it's a life lesson of how much you suck.
I think so. While we were sitting there, I think we went through and we talked to how many teams that actually won the thing.
I don't think anybody won the 10,000. They all just won the regular show prize. Where the people we played against won $2,700. They split 3 ways and then had to take taxes, and they won. So if you know anything about taxes, if you win over $699, you have to file a tax on your tax return. They won $806. So it's just enough money to you have to file an actual tax form based on the winnings, but it's not really that much money. It's $800.
Right.
That sucks.
That was that experience. And I mean, I'm sure there was a lot more to be said with it all, but once it comes out, hey, we'll probably talk about it a little bit more.
We'll probably post a link so you can laugh at us.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know about that part.
I can't wait.
Okay, let me give you the question that stumped me, Trevor,
Are you allowed
and our
to?
friend Jerry. I don't know. Who cares?
All right, let's do it.
I didn't mention the show.
Who knows what question it's from?
And here's the worst part: is it's such a simple question, and it breaks my heart that I didn't think about any of these. What are 3 things that, when you leave the house, are the first things that you grab? When you leave the house, you grab
remember
these
this
3
question.
things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I already told you this question. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we missed one, right? One of the 3. It was like keys, phone, wallet.
I don't think wallet. It was sunglasses.
Yeah.
Was one of them.
Yeah.
It was
So
just
it was like it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that third one is like sunglasses.
And I'm like, I don't wear sunglasses, so why?
I don't either. Okay.
It was the question of what's a place where you pay for cash? What's a business where you always
that's
pay
the
for
one you're
cash?
talking about.
Dude,
Yeah.
that was ridiculous too.
It's
Food
funny because
truck.
you said you asked Stacy and she said
The
a
first
taco
thing she
cart.
said, yeah, taco.
And then
cart.
I asked Michelle and she's like a food truck, and I was like, oh damn, dude.
I'm like, is it common knowledge for this stuff?
Yes.
I had a homeless guy the other day ask me, "Hey man, you got any cash?" I'm like, "Sorry man, we live in a card society." So I'm like,
Imagine
I
saying
don't go
homeless
to places
guy.
like that.
Name a place you play cash. Homeless guy.
Homeless guy. Where do you think cash goes, man? Cash is king, right?
Oh boy.
There's also a sequence in there where you have to name. He's like, "What would be your superpower?" And I was like, "Invisibility" or something. And the dude's like, "So you could just be gone right now," or something like that.
I'm like, yes. That's what I would have said.
That's the feeling I'm getting at this moment. Yes. I don't even remember. Did he ask me that question? I don't remember what I even said.
I think you might have been stumped by that question too.
Most likely, yeah. Oh, I remember the Mississippi one too.
Oh,
What are places that have accents? So in this, dude. Okay, here's another one of what in this game show. What they do is they show you how many letters are in the word that you're supposed to guess.
Oh, did you choose like Maine or something? Or something
Well,
small,
no,
like
he asked the question. Okay, what are
Name
some
a state
places
that's
that
known
have
for an
some
accent? Yeah.
that
Right,
have
okay.
strong accents? And
Right.
the number one answer had a lot of letters. And I was
Right.
my first thought, Mississippi. It's got to
Oh,
be
okay,
Mississippi.
okay.
It's in the South.
Right.
And I said, well, I grew up in the South, so I'm looking at this answer and I'm thinking, this looks like Mississippi. So I'm going to say Mississippi. Boy, was I wrong.
Uh-oh.
It was Massachusetts.
Whoops.
Whoopsies indeed. Yeah.
Did Jared say Boston?
I don't. Did
I
you
feel
say
like-
Texas?
No, I said California, and he's
Oh
like,
my
"What's
God,
the
and he goes-
California accent." And I was like, like a Valley girl, and he's like, "Can you give me that right now?" And I was like, "No."
No.
Literally,
No,
he
I
said,
will
"No,
not,
I'm
sir.
not doing that."
This is where I get to use my invisibility. Bye.
I'm like, no, oh my God, oh boy.
Like,
So,
no.
well,
duh.
I'm like seeing my cheeks get flush right now of embarrassment of talking about this. This
Dude,
is
I would have
so
loved to have
bad.
been on this show, dude. We've had so much fun with that host. It sounded like an absolute chode.
I think
love it.
this host is like right up your alley. I think you probably know who he is too. He's a popular, I would say a semi-popular comedian.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see when the show airs.
I don't remember his name though. I'll look him up though.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I have a feeling it's gonna air in April because they made everybody wear springtime colors.
They did.
Yeah. All of our
I wear a
colors were like
maroon shirt.
what?
I have a maroon shirt.
Yeah, that's
Which
not
I was
spring
dude,
color.
I was really surprised that they let you get through with the maroon shirt. Because I had like I think Jared had like a pinkish shirt. I had like a really light blue shirt. Like we looked like Easter. And
It's
everybody
funny,
else
too.
there looked like Easter.
Bloody
So,
Easter.
They made us come up with 5 outfits, and I was like, I'm not buying 5 outfits. So I literally went to a store and took pictures of myself in the dressing room, and then whatever outfits they wanted, I was like, I'll go buy them.
Perfect.
Luckily enough, I had all my Easter best. So
I hated that maroon shirt, and that's the one they picked.
Well,
At least
fine. I
look
can't wait
good
for
on
this
Pop
to air.
Quiz.
I want to go on to Pop Quiz. I'm gonna call Funko and say, "Hey guys, I want to be a contestant. Let me be on there. I need to
Still
make
time.
up for this other show."
Yeah.
Nice.
Cool, guys.
So that's our game show fun of the Secondary Heroes. We hope you enjoyed, and I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but I'm
You
sure
say
it's gonna
that
be pop
every
culture
week.
related. That's what's fun.
If we had a game, if we had a bingo board, that would be your free space, people.
Who knows what we're talking about next week, but we'll see you then.
And always remember, I fell down the stairs and I wrote a book about it. It's a step-by-step guide. Until next time, we'll talk to you later.
Prog out.
Adios, y'all. Solid stuff.
Let's take a picture.
Okay.